like for
grâce à une coordination précise de l'artillerie, des chars et des unités motorisées, l'assaut est
Face à cette situation, le commandement interarmé a validé le déploiement conjoint de réserve. Premièrement, sécurité des contrôles et operations are secure the maritime area afin d'établir un périmètre de sécurité à tout assumer autour du navire suspect. Also, a fifth team is deployed on the quay to ensure security and deny any exfiltration. C'est un environnement sécurisé pour la suite de la mission. This coordinated deployments ensure complete situational control across the operational zone and
the third step is the neutralization and destructive components of the highly, particularly the detonation and firing mechanism without causing detonation.
I will invite you to join this council with the Hassan before moving the incident coming close to us to our free. Opposing this matter and before finishing with
Very good. Yeah, go to 25. Yeah.
air support. And from N2,
One thing to consider on this as well, sir, is
what we're worried about, which is freedom of navigation through the S-locks, knowing how they employ, doctrinally how they employ those systems and how those systems are linked with the
flankers, pullbacks, and I'll get pretty blunt.
Not clear originally, but it is one battalion and
to the objectives and main objectives that we have to conduct. So that, and then I do think not the humanitarian, about the civilian population. So they talk about the civilian population is you know,
any incident report to the other units as soon as possible, and the RTC is gonna report to the MOC right in the P8. Now we can first report this is the frequencies that are going to be with the 5.1 secondary uniform, and the worst case scenario we're gonna refuse to VH reply time.
Because you can wipe out the ACAD, but as long as they're holding the ground, and you just dig deeper as an infantryman. And
the mechanism of defeat from the enemy was to withdraw from objective Bengals,
yeah,
reorganize on the south.
yeah.
So cooperation on the southern flank is extremely important because anything that we do, we always want to make sure that our friends and partners from North Africa in particular are always part of, and we have shared values and understanding of what needs to happen. So that if a crisis or a situation ever would evolve, we already have that interoperability, friendship, and relationship so that we could accomplish what we need to together. The United States Army, Europe, Africa, and the LANDCOM commander, all three of those roles all intersect right here in the Mediterranean. So the reason this is so important for NATO here specifically is clearly Morocco and Gibraltar. I mean, it's the entry point in and out of one of the vital waterways and bodies of water for NATO. And this is the southern flank. Morocco is the southern flank.
it's important partly because this is NATO's southern flank, and the countries here not only have got very strong relationships historically and present with other NATO countries, but actually they will form a very important part of ensuring that NATO's security is protected from the south, but equally that we can contribute towards their security from the north. I've learned already so much from our partners here. It definitely isn't one way, but I think we learn about how each other work, we learn each other's processes, generate interoperability, understand a little bit more about each other's kit and equipment, and hopefully understand a little bit more each other's major dilemmas. It can be really easy to assume what other people's security problems and worries are, but actually until you start talking to them, you don't really know.
You know, I've been really impressed with the training audience we have here, you know, representative of the FAR, of Portuguese, Brazilian, Egyptian partners, so really a diverse audience. And I told them up front, like the two big things that are indicators of our success is, one, how well we're organized, and two is how well the training audience stays engaged. And so you don't see a lot of people behind me. That's because they're engaged in the classrooms to my left and right in the planning process that's underway. I would say Morocco is essential to the security of the NATO southern flank. Also, Morocco is like one of our most developed partner nations and, non-NATO allies. So I think that, their ability to now start to export security and their understanding of planning for operations, I think is essential to our future moving forward.
Pour nous, African Lion est plus qu'un exercice. Tout d'abord, c'est un espace de dialogue militaire, un espace d'apprentissage mutuel et un espace d'interopérabilité. Interopérabilité sur le plan humain, interopérabilité sur le plan des équipements, mais également interopérabilité sur le plan procédural. Il est évident que pour la réussite des missions au niveau international, il faut une bonne connaissance mutuelle, une connaissance des cultures militaires, une autre connaissance des équipements sur lesquels nous sommes appelés à travailler, et enfin une connaissance d'un corpus doctrinal commun qui nous permet de planifier et d'avoir un corpus d'exemples d'outils de planification. L'objectif est de maintenir la paix et la stabilité dans les régions. C'est pourquoi African Lion vient renforcer nos capacités dans ce sens. Et pour les armées sénégales, en plus de ce que je viens de dire, c'est une opportunité de renforcer nos liens avec les partenaires comme les États-Unis d'Amérique, comme le Maroc et tant d'autres pays qui participent aujourd'hui à cet exercice African Lion. À la communauté internationale, en ce sens qu'elle s'inscrit dans le cadre du principe sacro-saint de la sécurité collective qui, depuis les traités de Westphalie de 1648 au traité de l'OTAN en son article 5, en passant par la Charte des Nations Unies en son article 24, promeut la prise en compte des questions de sécurité de façon globale par l'ensemble des pays.